This meeting is being recorded.
Hi there, I'm Chad Park. I'm with the Co-operators, and I'm delighted to have been asked to share a little bit about Co-operators with this group, which is very much in the spirit of Global Cooperative Principle 6, Cooperation Amongst Cooperatives. In 1945, the Co-operators was founded by a group of farmers, credit union leaders, and social pioneers who wanted to care for themselves and their communities. And it was a time when traditional insurers weren't able to meet their needs. And we're now an organization, more than 75 years later, that has a big presence in more than 600 locations across Canada, and where that same ethic of meeting unmet needs and putting the needs of communities first is still very much a part of the organization. This is an organization governed by 46 member organizations who represent cooperatives, credit union centrals, and representative farm organizations. So it's a cooperative of cooperatives in many ways, and so the fact that we're structured and governed as a cooperative is a key differentiator for us. I'm going to go to the next slide and explain the way that our cooperative identity is reflected in our business strategy. And as you can see on this slide, cooperative identity is actually one of our 5 focus areas within our corporate strategy. And we have several strategic objectives that are related directly to the advancement of cooperative values and principles, and also sustainability. For example, there's a goal that says we aim to be invaluable to the cooperative system, and one that says we'll deliver relevant, contemporary, and compelling solutions to our members, or to champion the advancement of the cooperative system and be the financial service provider of choice to cooperatives and like-minded organizations. So all of this really is and there's several others as well that are really about explicit commitments to, at the very top of the house in terms of our corporate strategy, to speak to the importance we place on this, and the way that different functions in the organizations are engaged in working collaboratively to achieve those goals. The next slide just elaborates a little bit on how co-op identity is also embedded in our mission, vision, and values. And really, this is an organization that is values driven and community focused, and a big part of that is because of the way that we're governed. We have a 22-member board that includes diverse representation from across the country, representation of our members, and so they help ensure, and this structure helps ensure, that the words on this slide are more than just words, that they really do, in my experience, act as a North Star in prioritizing our business activities. I was asked to reflect on whether our cooperative difference in identity offers us a competitive advantage. And we do know, first of all, that about 25% of our revenue, total revenue, comes from co-ops and our members, which is a significant number. And we also know that there's a lot of research out there that talks about and shows how millennials are more likely to do business with a purpose-driven organization. And so from that's very relevant from many angles, including recruitment and staffing, the attraction of talent, and our values as a key differentiator in that sense. This is an organization that's consistently ranked high as a responsible or sustainable business leader in Canada, and that further helps to build our credibility. So it's difficult to quantify, but we are confident that, and we do believe that, our cooperative identity gives us a competitive advantage. I was also asked to elaborate a little bit on the link to sustainability, and there's definitely a strong link here between our co-op identity and our commitment to sustainability. This audience will be very well aware that cooperatives are, by definition, in pursuit of social, environmental, and economic interests simultaneously. And so really that positions cooperatives very well to be champions of sustainability, which is about the integration of all those different dimensions. So we, as an organization, we've been actively working to embed sustainability throughout our organization for more than 14 years now, and we do it because it realizes tangible benefits for our clients, our members, our employees, and our communities as well. I won't go into detail about all the things mentioned on this slide, but these are some of the ways that we have advanced the embedment of sustainability throughout our organization, in our operations, our products and services, our community investments, our advocacy work, and really notably in our investments as well, where we have more than 20% of our investment portfolio currently invested in impact investments, and new goals to align our investment portfolio with net zero by 2050 at the latest, and to get to 60% of our invested assets in either impact or transition investments. So the next slide tells a little bit more about how we work to foster cooperation amongst cooperatives. And one of the big ways we do that is through our social impact framework, which is a tool we use to prioritize our community investments. And there we've got one of the main areas there is what we call cooperative society. And in this area, we're looking to support a resilient and thriving co-op sector in Canada by supporting youth to make them aware of and inspired by and actively engaged in the cooperative model. And also by supporting cooperatives to thrive through access to capital, connections, education, and mentorship. There are really a lot of programs to tell you about here, and we don't have a lot of time. So I'll just tell you about one of our newest ones, which is through a program we have called Pathways to Employability. We recently launched a Cooperators Young Leaders Award in 2021, which is to recognize young change makers aged 18 to 35 who are involved in cooperatives and mutuals across Canada, and to develop a kind of leadership development program for them. So all of this, and then of course, a strong prioritization on member engagement are all the different ways that we foster cooperation amongst cooperatives. In terms of communicating, the next slide is about communicating, and there's a lot to say here too. But I mean, really the challenge is we still run up against that challenge of how do you help people understand how cooperatives are different and why they should do business with a cooperative. And we really try to start with our value proposition, which focuses on areas that our competitors might be less likely to pursue. And then, of course, to focus on service, quality, and price first and foremost, and then sell the cooperative difference as a differentiator. So that's been our experience of the way to do it, but it really is a work in progress. And these are just a few examples on this slide of how we communicate this. Where, for example, it's woven throughout the narrative of our integrated annual report, our website, and our training programs, and so on. The next slide, if we go there, I can just say that there has been an evolution in our messaging. This is actually our new brand that was launched last year, and our new tagline, which is investing in your future together. And I personally think that really embodies sustainability and our co-op values. Our brand is informed by the vision and mission and so on that I showed earlier. And this what's on the right side of this slide is our brand manifesto, which kind of sums up our current messaging. And it's really a never-ending effort, I guess you could say, to evolve our messaging in a way that reaches the key stakeholders and tries to communicate the cooperative difference. This is the last slide, and I'll just say a few things about the future role of the co-op business model. And really, the pandemic, the climate emergency, and so many other big systemic issues just highlight, I think, the need for the cooperative model when we think about the fact that none of those issues are going to be addressed by any single organization. They all require collaboration, and they all require long-term thinking. And those are two capabilities that cooperatives are very uniquely and well positioned to be able to provide. And so we think that there's a inherent resilience in cooperation and in being a cooperative. And so as we look to, as a society, to how we're going to face these significant challenges, a strong cooperative sector is really key to moving forward. So thank you again for the opportunity to present, and I look forward to some dialogue.